In the final centuries of the Roman Empire, some warrior leaders from barbarian tribes tested their courage in brutal clashes with the Romans and also among themselves. In this video, we will look at the 8 most prominent of these barbarian warriors. Born into a noble family of the Cherushi tribe around 18 BC, Arminius was taken from his home by the Romans as a child and served in the Roman army. In 9 AD, his Cherushi forces ambushed and massacred 3 Roman legions under the command of Varus, the governor of the province of Germania. After this humiliating defeat, where Varus fell on his own sword, the Romans withdrew and refrained from further invasions. Although Arminius was hailed as a nationalist hero during the unification of Germany in the late 19th century, his reputation suffered at the start of World War II when modern Germans associated his historical feats with the nationalism of Hitler's Third Reich. Like other Celtic women, Boudica enjoyed greater freedom than many other women of the ancient world and trained in combat alongside men. When her husband, King Prasutagus of the Iceni people, died without an heir around 60 AD, the Romans took the opportunity to annex his kingdom, publicly flogging Boudica and raping her 2 daughters. With the Roman provincial governor Gaius Suetonius Paulinus absent, Boudica led a rebellion with the Iceni and other tribes, achieving victory over the 9th Roman Legion. According to the Roman historian Tacitus, Boudica's forces massacred around 70,000 Romans. One of the most famous barbarian leaders, the Gothic king Alaric rose to power after the death of Eastern Roman Emperor Theodosius II in 395 AD, when Western Emperor Flavius Honorius refused to provide land and supplies for Alaric's forces in 408. The Gothic forces laid siege to Rome. In the summer of 410, a group of rebellious slaves opened the Salarian Gate, and Alaric's troops became the first foreign enemy to enter the city in nearly 800 years. They sacked Rome for 3 days, but treated its inhabitants humanely. Alaric is said to have died shortly after they departed during a subsequent expedition to Africa. His descendants, the Visigoths, migrated to the Iberian Peninsula and established their kingdom in Spain. Born into a royal family of the Huns, a nomadic people living in what is now Hungary, Attila rose to power alongside his brother Bleda in 434 AD. Initially an ally of Rome against other barbarian groups, including the Burgundians and Celts, Attila accepted heavy gold subsidies in exchange for not attacking Roman territory, only to do so anyway later. After killing his own brother, he assumed full control of an empire that stretched across Central Europe. A complicated series of events involving Western Emperor Valentinian III and his sister Honoria inspired Attila to invade Gaul, modern France, in 450. Although a combined force of Romans and Visigoths blocked the invasion, Attila did not relent and invaded Italy in 452. Valentinian III sent Pope Leo I as an envoy of peace, and although the details of their meeting are unknown, Attila withdrew his troops afterward. In 453, he was found dead the morning after his wedding, apparently the victim of a fatal nosebleed, possibly due to accidental alcohol poisoning or an assassination conspiracy, possibly involving his bride. Shortly after Vandal king Genseric rose to power in 428 AD, he led about 80,000 of his people to North Africa, where they established a kingdom that would effectively control the Mediterranean Sea for the next century. After Emperor Valentinian III was assassinated, annulling a treaty that promised his daughter to Genseric's son in marriage, the Vandals marched on Rome in 455. Sensing the weakness of the city's defenses, the Romans again sent Pope Leo I to plead for mercy. Thanks to the Pope's diplomacy, the Vandals agreed not to burn the city or massacre its inhabitants in exchange for entry. Genseric later became victorious in North Africa, where he successfully repelled 2 Roman attacks in 461 and 468 and invaded the Eastern Empire's territories of Alexandria, Egypt, and Anatolia. Most scholars agree that Odoacer, the first barbarian king of Italy, was the son of Edico, a king of the Shuri, a Germanic tribe, and an advisor to the feared leader Attila the Hun. In 476 AD, after serving as a commander in the Roman army in Italy, Odoacer led a rebellion against Orestes, a Roman general who had overthrown the Western emperor Julius Nepos and declared his teenage son, Romulus Augustus, as emperor. Odoacer's forces captured and executed Orestes, sending Romulus into exile. Though he officially recognized the sovereignty of the Byzantine emperor Zeno, Odoacer refused to restore Julius Nepos as emperor of the West, as Zeno wanted. Instead, he declared himself king. He was a tolerant ruler, allowing the practice of Roman Catholicism despite his own Arian Christian faith. Eventually, Zeno's alliance with Theodoric, an Ostrogothic leader, marked the end of Odoacer's reign when Ostrogothic forces invaded Italy in 489 and soon captured almost the entire peninsula. Odoacer managed to resist for a while in Ravenna, but after signing an agreement to rule the city jointly in 493, Theodoric assassinated Odoacer, his family, and his followers. Clovis was the first ruler of the so-called Merovingian dynasty, which would govern Gaul and Germany from 500 to 750 AD and is considered the founder of France. The son of Childeric, the pagan king of a Germanic tribe known as the Salian Franks, Clovis took the throne in 481 at the age of just 15. After defeating the last Roman leader of Gaul in 486, Clovis established a united kingdom of various Frankish peoples that extended from the western shore of the Rhine to the Atlantic Ocean. Clovis converted to Catholicism, and his kingdom blended Roman and Germanic cultural traditions. A power struggle with the young Visigothic king Alaric II marked much of Clovis's reign, but in 507, Clovis defeated and killed his rival. From the seat of his empire in Paris, Clovis sought to expand his empire further, but was thwarted in these attempts by Theodoric, the powerful ruler of the Ostrogoths in Italy. Clovis died around 511, and his Merovingian descendants ruled for more than 200 years. No fewer than 18 future French kings would bear the name Louis, a Latinized version of Clovis. As a boy, Theodoric was sent to Constantinople as a hostage of the Eastern Roman Empire to ensure the compliance of his father, the Ostrogothic chief Theudemir, with the Roman treaty. Though he never learned to read or write, he adopted many aspects of Roman culture. In 488 AD, Theodoric invaded Italy, conquering almost the entire peninsula and Sicily by 493 when he manipulated and killed his rival, Odoacer. His reign brought peace to Italy for over 3 decades, around 33 years. Theodoric allowed decrees ensuring fair legal treatment for both Goths and Romans, emphasizing that the two groups should live together amicably. Far from the brutal stereotype of a barbarian king, Theodoric was respected by the Roman emperors. After his death in 526, he would be remembered as Theodoric the Great for his peaceful, just rule and for revitalizing Italy after the fall of the Western Roman Empire. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to our channel, and see you in the next video.